Closed-door attorney-client session is now concluded, and the board has returned to open session. In the closed session, we discussed possible settlement negotiations and/or strategy related to litigation expenditures. I need a motion to close the attorney-client session. Motion by Mrs. Whitfield, seconded by Ms. Ayala. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. I'll now call the May 11th workshop of the School Board of Palm Beach County to order. Ms. Bellata, would you please call the roll again?
District 1, Barbara McQuinn. Here. District 2, Alexandria Ayala.
Here.
District 3, Karen Brill.
Here.
District 4, Erica Whitfield.
Here.
District 5, Frank Barbieri.
Here.
District 6, Marcia Andrews.
Here.
District 7, Deborah Robinson, absent.
All right, we have quorum with 6 board members in attendance. Also joining us is Superintendent Michael Burke, General Counsel Sean Bernard, and Board Clerk Tony Bellata. Senior staff members will join us periodically as directed by the Superintendent. Welcome back, Mr. Superintendent. You did a great job this morning for us down there. I'm sure they were intimidated to ask you the same questions they asked the other superintendents, but of course they're watching this, so I'm sure they're not going to be happy with that comment. Viewers and listeners can access the meeting today by either watching on Comcast channels 234 and 235, UVerse channel 99, or by using the YouTube link on our webpage at palmbeachschools.org. In the event that the link is interrupted for technical reasons, please switch over to the TV channels. All board meetings are recorded in their entirety and posted on the district website within 24 hours. We also offer a listening-only option, which the public can access by calling 561-357-5900 or toll-free at 1-866-930-7015. The meeting ID is 1-561-880-1124 #. This meeting is being transcribed by a closed captioner, so remember to speak at a reasonable pace. Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's good to be back. You know, it's kind of tough to drive back and forth to Key West and not stop and hit the water or go fishing or do something, but it inspired me for summer plans ahead, maybe. We just have one workshop for you today, and that's, you may recall the board approved a few months back the upcoming school year calendar, the 22-23 school year, and at that point we had a conversation about, you know, how about going back to where we approve a few years worth of calendars at a time so people can plan accordingly. So the team, Mr. Bogus, Chief of Staff, and Mr. Tim Kubrick, Labor Relations, have taken that to heart, and they've met with our calendar committee, and they're bringing back the recommendations this afternoon for the workshop. After the benefit of the workshop, if we feel like we're on the right track, then we can bring those forward for a vote. So we're excited to be able to do this. I think it'll be great to have 3 calendars in place, potentially. And I want to thank Mr. Kubrick in Labor Relations. He's been, you know, jumped in this year. He's learned a lot about negotiations, and then on top of that, you get to, you know, learn all about the calendar, and that takes a beautiful mind to wrap your head around all the moving parts and the holidays and the restrictions and all that. So I just want to thank him for a job well done, and I'll turn it over to the team.
Mr. Superintendent, I realize we have one speaker, Mr. Katz from CTA, if he wants to come to the microphone first.
Thank you. My name is Justin Katz. I'm the president of CTA. I just wanted to come and speak in support of both of the recommendations from the calendar committee. I come out every year. The calendar never satisfies everybody, but it satisfies the academic needs of the students, which is first and foremost on the committee's agenda of what to do. So I just wanted to speak in support. The biggest change from this year and next year is that it resolves the issue of the Christmas break not being the 2 contiguous weeks with 3 weekends wrapped around, which was a big point of contention this year and next year. That is something that will only happen every 6th and 7th year in a 7-year rotation. So you have these 2 calendars before you potentially today and 3 more years to try to solve that problem. Some of you may not be here anymore, but you could certainly put the effort in. So again, just to speak in favor of it, it satisfies the academic needs as best as possible, and that's our priority. Thank you.
Thank you, President Katz. Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, I'll turn it over to Mr. Bogus.
Thank you, sir. As opening up, Mr. Superintendent brought up a great point. Mr. Chair, Vicewoman Brill, and school board members, the idea that the school calendar is one of the most complex public education Rubik's Cubes you could possibly work with. And Mr. Kubrick, now our manager of labor relations, has done an excellent job with our team and committee, and today we'll be bringing forward SY24 or FY24 recommendation, FY25, and really what this committee has as proposals and ideas, and we'll be working through that with you all today. Our agenda for today covers a handful of topics, but really leads us down to 3 different options for FY24 and 2 different options for FY25. But we'll go through the rules regarding development of these school calendars, really statute and policy around that, committee requirements, and the expectations posed to our committee participants. General calendar considerations. There's priorities that are set. We've heard back in November or October and November leading to the FY23 calendar, things that this board has as priorities and things that our community really would like to see as part. That we're identifying paid holidays that will be provided for our employees, potential start dates for our district, what we can legally start as a potential first start date, and even looking at further options into the school year as part of that. Reviewing what those other start dates look like for other districts. I can say when we get to that slide, FY24 and 25 are unique. We're out ahead of most of this state when it comes to a 24 and 25 calendar, and we'll talk more about that. And as I said, the 3 options for 24 and 25. Just a review of our Florida statutes and rules. We do this each time with a calendar workshop, but feel it prudent to go through yet again that we can't start a school year earlier than August 10th per statute, and that the hourly equivalent to a 180-day school year is 900 hours of full-time FTE. That the purpose of requirement for high school graduation as 1 full credit means 135 hours of bona fide instruction in a designated course. There is an exception with credit acceleration program, but really that 135 hours of bona fide instruction. That the intent of any calendar is to avoid any payroll gaps, that no salary payment shall be paid to any employee in advance of service being rendered, and that by statute, maximum of 6 paid legal holidays. Who's on this calendar committee and the great work that they're proposing today? This committee consists of union and NBU representatives, that we have a elementary principal, middle school principal, and high school principal as part of this committee. Our PTA representation, communications department, school transformation, labor relations led by Tim Kubrick, payroll, and FTE are all part of this committee and recommendation process to you today to the board. Expectations of the committee, that they would make 2 recommendations, one for FY24, one for FY25, that we would collectively bring in this stakeholder group and gain their input and verify the calendar meets all the statutory requirements and review the options and rank and preference order as being brought. Collective bargaining is part of these provisions. That CTA is guaranteed 196 duty days with 6 paid holidays per the CBA. SEIU, FPSU are guaranteed 182 duty days with no paid holidays. Paid holidays are only for full-time 12-month employees per the CBA. ASOP, paid holidays are for 12-month employees per their collective bargaining agreement. When we really looked at considerations through and with this committee, one of the biggest things is the first day of school for teachers and students. Again, August 10th being the earliest, and you're going to see recommendations in these proposed ideas of a staggered 10th, midday, or a midpoint, and even a late start concept. Duty and PD days after each marking period, really looking after the 9-week mark, and then trimesters. The holidays for teachers and students didn't change, but we're looking at Labor Day, fall and spring holidays, 3 in total, Thanksgiving break, winter break, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, spring break, spring holiday, and Memorial Day. Again, here's a unique piece of the 24 and leading to 25 calendars. Elections and primaries, specific to the calendar year 24. That's going to impact how we view and look at day off for Veterans Day for non-election years. I know that has been a point of conversation in the past, so we're making note of that and as part of a consideration. Hurricane and emergency makeup days, that is always something that we take into consideration, especially for that first semester and where we would allocate emergency makeup days. And attempt, to the best of our ability, a 90-90 split, 180 days if we can, 90 on the front end, 90 on that second semester. Doesn't always work out perfectly, but that is ultimately what we're striving for. Last and certainly not least, but avoid or delay payroll gaps. That is by statute, but also in the best interest of our employees here in Palm Beach County. Special considerations. We went back and forth on early start dates versus late start days. When we really look at the later start, it does create more payroll gaps. Mr. Kubrick's going to explain a little bit more when we get into those options. But really, if we were going to make a blanket statement around early versus late, it's the idea that later start dates create greater payroll gaps for our employees. That we would continue the full week of Thanksgiving. I think it's a soft benefit, especially when we talked with our committee around that. That's something that our employees appreciated and something that really, if a special consideration could be made, that's something that you're going to see reflected. Ending the semester before winter break was a conversation with the committee, and as part of that, highly recommended by principals and union leadership. That we would avoid partial week before or after winter break, and I think we just heard Mr. Katz speak to some of that was problematic in past years, and something that we really looking at 24 and 25 to have. Continue with past practice of those selected holidays and consideration or addition of different days moving forward. And as I said, presidential election in 2024 is a big piece of that calendar and something that we take into account the preference of the primary election, and then the presidential election. Our holidays for employees has not changed like we've had in years past, but we are making notation of them. Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day, and Memorial Day for teachers. And then our 12-month employees, inclusive of 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and Memorial Day. What is the earliest you can start a school year? We said August 10th by statute, and then when we look at this, the first possible day of school for students in the FY24 year is Thursday, August 10th. That's where it kind of looks and lands, and you're going to see that reflected in some of our option. And then the FY25 year, the first day isn't on August 10th. It would be reflective of Monday, August 12th. And if we look at historical perspective for the last few years, we're right around that same time and range. Everything from the 1920 school year of 12th, 10th, and 10th, leading into the 23 year for next year. As I opened, we're in a unique position, and I think we're certainly out ahead of most districts in the state of Florida right now. As it stands, Escambia and Duval are the only ones that have a projected calendar or a board-approved calendar for FY24 and 25. You're going to see some similarities with those start dates of August 10th and August 12th, most of which are really starting with that earlier start date. And when we look at Duval, the 14th was chosen, and the 12th was chosen for the FY25. But again, our accompanying partners to the south, Broward and Miami-Dade, I know we try to align with that, but as it stands, they do not have a board-approved FY24 or 25 calendar to reflect or even to collaborate with.
Mr. Bogus, has Orange County not done anything yet either?
Orange County has not done anything else.
Thank you.
So at this time, we're going to really dive into these options, and Tim Kubrick's going to lead us through that conversation. Mr. Kubrick?
Thank you. Good afternoon. So our first calendar here, option number one, is what I would say is your fairly traditional calendar of what we've had over the past years, where the students, first day for students is August 10th, 180 days, ending school on May 30th, the Thursday. This semester splits 88 days and 92 days, so it's close to that 90-day target as we can get. This calendar, as you'll see in the next slides, maintains the full week for Thanksgiving, does end our first semester before winter break. Rather than 2 fall holidays, we were able to shift to 2 spring holidays. Our presidential preference primary covered by spring break so that we don't have to utilize one of our spring holidays for that. And also, of all the calendar options for FY24, this has the least amount of pay gaps, which is actually only one employee group. So this is the best option in terms of pay gaps. So as you see here, and one of the school districts who is starting on the 14th, you could see that they opted to move it to the Monday, the 14th. But in working with our committee, they preferred the 10th because they liked the idea of opening up, having Thursday, Friday to get through some of those procedural things that you go through opening the school year, but also that Friday where the teachers come back, August 4th, allows what they were hoping for was to give an opportunity for teachers to come in, get their classroom set up, do things like that, which was something that was voiced with much favor in the committee meetings. Getting into September, we have our Labor Day on the 4th. We have a fall holiday on the 25th. Sorry, I can't see it. And we, as mentioned, we do in November maintain our full week for Thanksgiving. Ending the first semester on December 22nd. This was something that was not only stressed as critical by the principals, but also by unions. So everybody on the committee felt that was necessary. Having your full 2 weeks for winter break, and then another thing that was a preference was to, when we come back from winter break, having that duty PDD day on that Monday before the kids back to get everybody back into the swing of things after 2 weeks off. So students then come back on the 9th, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day on the 15th. Getting into spring break, we have our spring break was moved back to a week, I think, from what it was this year, so that we could account for the presidential preference primary on that Tuesday and not have to use a spring holiday or try to time a PDD on a Tuesday. It just doesn't work out that well. So we have a spring holiday there on the end of March 29th, I think it was, and then another spring holiday on April 10th. So the 2 spring holidays. Getting into May, Memorial Day on May 27th, and students wrapping things up on May 30th, teachers coming back the following day to close it out, and then 10-hour workdays starting the first week of June. So again, this is the most traditional option that we've had, but it's also, the committee was unanimous in selecting this as their preference for many different reasons. But number one, very limited pay gaps, this first semester ending before winter break, and just the timing of winter break and it being the full 2 weeks. So, option number 2. So this is what it looks like for a late start, August 21st. We still have 180 days ending on June 7th, 91 days to 89 days for the semester split. For this calendar, we did have to reduce a day of the Thanksgiving week. It would not be for students, but it would be for it would be a PDD or duty day for teachers. The concerns: second semester ends after winter break. The March 19th presidential preference primary is still covered by spring break, and we do have 2 spring holidays as well on this calendar. But on this, almost every pay group has a pay gap. So that was a big concern where, to be quite honest, they didn't even think that this was a viable option because of, the number of pay gaps that it created. So here's your calendar where the teachers are coming back on that 15th, students coming in on the 21st. Still have a lot of the same holidays. You got Labor Day, you got the 25th of September for a fall holiday. As mentioned, the full week of Thanksgiving, still a full week for students, but a duty PDD day for teachers on that Monday. 2 weeks for the winter break, but when you come back from winter break, everybody, teachers and students, come back the same day. And that was not preferred by the committee. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day is on the that say? The 15th. And spring break, same week as it was in the other calendars to cover that presidential preference primary. Spring holiday on the 29th. Spring holiday on April 10th, Memorial Day. And then students wrapping it up on the 7th of June, and teachers coming back that Monday, 10-hour workday starting the following week. So next we wanted to look at, well, what is it like if we find a date in between the early start and the late start? So that's what we have here. Basically what you're seeing here is this starts a week later and ends a week later. The kids start on August 17th. It's 180 days to June 5th, 84 days versus 96 days. And so that's where you see that, you know, starting a little bit later, what it does is create a first semester that's only 84 days as opposed to 88 days. The full week of Thanksgiving in this one as well, reduced by a day. The presidential preference primary, the same during spring break, 2 spring holidays. But this one also has additional pay gaps in more than option 1. So.
So that does conclude FY24. So I don't know if we want to continue on with FY25 or
Let's
pause
hold for that,
24.
see if there's any questions. Board members, questions? Mrs. Whitfield?
Okay, just one quick question. Thank you guys so much for doing this. I know this is like the worst job in the entire district, trying to figure out the calendar, so thank you. I'm just curious about when you picked the option 3 and you went in between, did you look at starting on August 14th as a possibility for that, so that it would be the Monday? And how does that impact all the rest of the things if we were to go to the 14th? Instead of having those 2 days.
So making minor changes like that does impact a whole lot of other things, because you have the trimesters and the 9 weeks, and trying to time those at times where it makes sense. It would increase the first semester to 86 days, but ultimately there wasn't enough positive change, I'd say, by increase. You know, you could play around with those days all you want, but it just didn't.
You could fix Thanksgiving. You could get rid of that one day so that people are getting the whole week. That would be fixable with that. But with 84 days, do we really have enough time? Or even if 86 days, do we have enough time if there's a hurricane? Like, what's the bare minimum? Bare minimum is like 76, right? Like, if the world comes to an end, 76 is the bare minimum, right?
I'm not 100%
Yeah, so
sure on
if,
that.
if we got to that point, we would be pulling not only all those PD days in the front end, all of Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and even looking at, if we really got to that, even portions of that winter break.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes,
Vice
ma'am.
Chairwoman Brew?
Thank you. So I just first of all wanted to thank you for the hard work. I know that it is difficult to please everybody, and I do want to acknowledge that you did listen to the people that came out to speak last year that were upset about not having 2 weeks off for the winter break. That was very big for people. You know, I suspect that option 1 is going to be what the board goes with. None of the options really would excite my constituents. And I'm going to be true to my constituents. My district really feels that we start too early. And everybody's heard me say this before. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, so to speak. But we have option 1 returns the teachers on August 4th. And you have teachers that do take jobs outside of Florida, working in camps, and it precludes that, you know, by starting where they have to come back on August 4th. So I do support the idea of minimal pay gaps. I think we could have addressed that in prior years had we started to edge towards a later start date. But I just want to show my appreciation. Thank you. But in the end, I will not be supporting the option that will most likely be chosen, because it is not what my constituents want. Thank you.
Mrs. Andrews?
Thank you, Mr. Vargas, as well as Mr. Kubik. I just really appreciate you listening over the years. We've been here before. We try to listen. You can't please everybody. I'm always impressed that the people that sit on the calendar committee are the people who truly utilize this calendar more than anybody else. And the pay gaps piece was a big piece when we had our bus drivers sitting here at this board meeting and custodians and others telling us they could not afford to lose any money. So we know with the climate that we're living in today, I'm certainly not interested in anything that's going to impede us not being able to pay those who work for us the most and get paid the less. So definitely that would not be anything that I would be looking at. But I just agree when the teachers tell me that they like this. When we hear from our CTA president saying, this is good for our teachers, our main focus here. That's important for me. And then I looked at some of the different additional breaks that we're getting, that we're actually helping some in the community. Veterans Day is a big day that I'm always interested in, and you've been really working hard to give us the ability to celebrate and know and thank our veterans, so that piece is good. But I'm looking at option one because everybody that I know that really lived this has said to me, you know, we've heard you over the years, we've been here before, and we've got to take care of everybody. I would like to say we could please everybody, but I think this is the closest one to me in pleasing the people who actually use this calendar. And it takes a lot of work in the meetings for you all to go back and forth and talking it through and probably really engaging a lot to get here. And so I thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you a question about Miami-Dade. I understand Miami-Dade is on a different type of system where they can start later. They use trimesters, or what is different in Miami-Dade? I know that they can start much later in August and they are able to get done and they have the same requirements as we do. So do you recall past years how Miami-Dade's been able to do that?
I'm not exactly sure. It might have something to do with this semester.
Yes.
Semester ending in January.
We've looked at trimester concepts before, and looking at and even having conversation with our chief academic officer. That type of transition and change would be, I don't want to say extreme, but it would be something that would be a very heavy lift for our district to really revamp what that looks like.
Okay, the only issue I have with this is that for the 12 years I've been on this board, we've talked about how that's a heavy lift with doing a Miami-Dade, and maybe if we would have started a few years back, we'd be there, because Miami-Dade starts much later. It ends all the, my constituents constantly complain about, I know that my constituents live in areas that are a little more, they have a little more money than some of the other areas in the district, and they send their children away to camp, and and we're not going to change the entire calendar for a small percentage of children to go away to camp, but it would eliminate all those issues. Not to mention the fact that we bring these kids back to schools where we have air conditioning problems constantly, and then bringing them back the second week in August when the temperature is going to be in the 90s is always been a problem. Especially, I know in a couple high schools in my district that have constant AC problems even after we've fixed the AC system. So. I'll go with option one, but I think that we need to really take a serious look at what Miami-Dade's doing and what exactly we would have to do in order to convert over to that system so we can get the kids back later, avoid the problems with the AC systems and the heat. The kids can't even go outside at those few weeks in August that they're back because it's so hot outside. So we need to take a look at that. Any other, go ahead, Mrs. McQuinn.
So it's my understanding that Miami-Dade does not have the required semester exams, and that the heavy lift on our part is rewriting our pupil progression plan. And that certainly is heavy lifting. But we keep talking about doing things differently. It's an opportunity to start looking at things. And I've discussed this with the superintendent. I discussed it with the former superintendent. If we're ever going to get significantly better, maybe we need to do a heavy lift. And it is still hot in September. But it's hot until Halloween, let's face it. It really is. But I know that staff is cringing to think that we would relook at pupil progression, but I don't know. I would just like for somebody to at least discuss it among staff.
Mrs. Whitfield.
Sorry, I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Katz for coming today. This is I really feel like the most important thing that
happens during this conversation is, what do the principals and the teachers want? Because they're the ones who have to educate the kids. And so I really like that he came today. I'm hoping that at our future meetings that we have where we go to approve this, we can also have someone from the Principals Association come, somebody who represents, even if we have the different levels of principals, speak to how the calendar will impact them. Because the thing that I really want is, I want to make sure that we're representing truthfully what the community needs to be able to accomplish the goals of academics around our kids. So I appreciate Mr. Katz coming. I hope he'll come back again when we vote on it, and also have some representation from the principals here. Thank you.
Ms. Whitfield, if I may, I'd like to call out by name the principals that sat on this committee: Ms. Pam Buckman, Mr. Bob Hatcher, and Mr. Corey Brooks. Their input from a principal standpoint is invaluable. So taking the time to say thank you to them for serving on this committee, but also I'll further reach out to the Principals Association and have that conversation.
Thank you. If you want to move on with the next year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so option one for FY25, this was, again, the committee's first preference. And the first day that we can open school for students is August 12th, the Monday. August 10th lands on a Saturday. This option has us kids finishing up the school year on May 30th. The split first semester to second semester, 85 to 95 days. And this, you'll also see it's a 179 duty days. On this one, prioritizing feedback from the on pay gaps and the first semester ending before winter break. To be able to really do that, we would have to start on August 12th. You can't push it back any later than that because you're already at the 12th. So, if it was the 10th, there's a couple more days to play with there. But this school year represents, some additional challenges with the elections. We have the presidential primary election on August 20th. So for that, we had to use a fall holiday. The presidential election on November 5th, which is a PDD, so no school for students. And then on this calendar, we have minimal pay gaps. Now, keep in mind that pay gaps also depend on which first option you choose, right? So, that is part of it as well. But this also gives us an additional teacher planning day before the school year begins because, as you can see, we're at 179 days. So to get that 196 duty days, we had to add a day in the beginning for teacher planning. So how do we get to 179 days? Well, the preference to have 2 weeks for winter break and also avoid bringing teachers back on that Friday before the Friday that winter break ends, or bringing students back just for the Monday, June 2nd. That's sort of how we landed on 179 days. Bringing students back in for one day in June was just not ideal, and we could still meet the requirements with the 179 days. So here you can see the 5 teacher planning days before the school year begins. Kids coming in on August 12th. We do have the fall holiday on the 20th, which is the presidential primary. We have Labor Day on the 2nd of September, a fall holiday in October, on October 3rd. We have the full week for Thanksgiving. We end the first semester on the 20th of December. We have 2 full weeks then for winter break. When we return from winter break, teachers are coming in on that 6th, students coming back on the 7th. We have the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day on the 20th. We have our week of spring break starting on the week of March 24th. And then we have our spring holiday on April 18th. Memorial Day on the 26th. And the last day of students will be there would be May 30th. And teachers coming back on that Monday, June 2nd, to wrap it up. Option number 2. So this was this is our later start. It's 180 days, August 21st to June 10th, 93 days versus 87 days. Again, same things with the presidential primary election, the presidential election. Full week of Thanksgiving reduced by a day. Second semester, though, does end after winter break, would be January 24th. In this calendar option, we have 2 spring holidays, but we also, with the late start, as mentioned, we have more pay gaps. So here you can see where students are coming back on the 21st. The nice thing about it is that you don't have to use a fall holiday for the primary, but the pay gaps and the first semester end date are really still a challenge. Labor Day, the week of Thanksgiving, still a full week for students, but just a PDD for teachers on that first Monday, 2 weeks for winter break, but when we come out of winter break, teachers and students arrive on the same day. Doesn't really give you that day to get back into the swing of things, get your class ready, your lessons ready, everything like that. Really the expectation, in my opinion, would be that you'd have to be doing some work over that break. Martin Luther King Day on the 20th, we have spring break the week of the 10th, and a spring holiday on the 31st of March. Another spring holiday on April 10th, and students wrapping things up on the 10th of June, Tuesday. The teachers coming back the next day on 11th, and then 10-hour workdays starting the next day. So the later start date, you know, I know that maybe starting early creates some negative feedback, but starting late and ending late might generate some of the same negative feedback just on the other end of it. So, you know, it would then push into June. It could interrupt summer plans, jobs, vacation, things like that. So as it was mentioned, it's hard to please everybody on this, but these calendar options that we have for FY25, option number 1 was unanimously favored by the committee, and not only because of some of, you know, the timing of the semester breaks and pay gaps and all that, but it really, they just felt it was best, you know, for educationally. So,
Any comments?
Thank you.
Board members? Superintendent?
All right. Well, we appreciate your attention. We'll be bringing back a recommendation for both years in the near future that align with the committee's recommendations. So thank you.
okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
That concludes our workshop. So we've got a little time here, Mr. Chairman, until our regular meeting begins at 5.
All right, we need a motion to adjourn the workshop. Motion by Mrs. Andrews, second by Mrs. Whitfield. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We are at a time certain start of the next meeting. It can't start before 5 p.m., so we'll be on break until 5 p.m. when the meeting will start.
You were a treasure. You were a find. And all the students, when they all came up and they were so excited, it warms my heart because it shows that what I do every day really does matter, and it